And Nancy Cordes, good enough to join us from Washington. Nancy, as you pointed out there, the Democratic nominee wasting little time getting to the great state of Nebraska. What influence, then, does the campaign believe that Warren Buffett, Mark Cuban, and the like can have on the electorate?
Well, I'll promise you it's not the 5 electoral votes that the great state of Nebraska has to offer, although because of the way that Nebraska and Maine uniquely apportion their electoral votes, she could win a couple of those votes, even if she doesn't win the entire state, because they do it by congressional district there. But it's all about Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, and him making the case by proxy that Donald Trump isn't the businessman that he claims to be. And the reason that this is so important is because that's Trump's claim to fame, is that he's such a great businessman, that he can create so many jobs, that he'll do for America what he's done for his company. This is something that a lot of voters have responded to. It's the reason, in large part, that he won the Republican nomination. So if she can cast doubt on that, then that will put her a long way towards her goal.
And with regard to his polarizing effect as an orator, Donald Trump has certainly had a 4-day stretch here by any measure, in part by calling his Democratic rival the devil. What has her campaign had to say?
Nothing yet. I asked them last night for some reaction to that. They said no reaction at the moment. Hard to know exactly how to respond to something like that. It brings to mind Christine O'Donnell back in a couple of election cycles ago, the Senate candidate from Delaware, saying, "I am not a witch." Saying, "I am not a devil," doesn't seem to be something that would really help you make your case. And Clinton has said in the past that she's not going to respond to every single one of Donald Trump's accusations and attacks, because they believe that only invites more of this kind of thing. So she hasn't had a response. And actually, Bernie Sanders hasn't had a response either yet. You know, the comment that Trump was making was actually about Bernie Sanders, saying that he had made a deal with the devil and that he was coming to regret that deal, and that Hillary Clinton is the devil. So I reached out to the Sanders camp as well, and they haven't had any response either.
Yet. I also want to ask you about the numbers. By virtue, really looking at a number of polls, Hillary Clinton's had between a 7 and 10% bounce post-Democratic convention. Also some numbers that seem to suggest now that her honesty and trustworthy numbers are at least evening up with those of Donald Trump. And with regard to the question of the preparation to be president, she now has a significant lead, has opened quite a gap against her GOP rival. How does the campaign feel about the numbers they're seeing?
I think that it definitely helps. The numbers show that she's far more likely to be seen as a strong leader, far more likely to be seen as someone who has preparation for the job. But, you know, these things go up and they go down. And at the end of the day, the only poll that matters is on Election Day. So what they'll be watching is not just whether she got a great bump, which feels really good, is kind of a sugar high, but whether she can sustain that kind of bump, particularly in the 3 or 4 battleground states that at the end of the day are going to decide this election.
Nancy Cordes in Washington, as always, we appreciate it.
You're welcome, Josh.